KLVZ.
Thank you so much for listening to Denver's newest radio station, 810 KLVZ, where we are proclaiming God's love throughout Colorado. It is our hope that you will be blessed by the music and programming that you hear every day. In addition to the great messages presented by Joyce Meyer, David Jeremiah, and Focus on the Family, we are searching for local ministries who have a desire to reach Coloradans with the good news of Christ's love over our airwaves. Talk to your church leaders, call your friends in ministry, let them know about KLVZ and opportunities that we have for them. For more information, call station manager Mike Treem at 303-433-5500. And thank you for helping us to spread the message of Christ's redeeming love to Denver and throughout Colorado.
Do you want to learn the true mysteries hidden in the Bible? Then join Pastor Jerry Carson each Sunday at 1:30 p.m. on the Word of God. Together, we'll open the Scripture to see God's truths for our lives. The Word of God, Sundays at 1:30 p.m. on 810 KLVZ, where God's love lives.
Share your story of hope. Call 303-477-2473. The Good News with Angie Austin on 810 KLVZ, where love lives.
Where love lives. I love that. I'm Angie Austin, and my show is going to be about hope and healing, inspiration, and a few laughs. I've got a couple callers on hold, and one of them, I believe, is my, childhood friend. I used to go to her house, and I would eat all of their potato chips and onion dip because we didn't have those at my house, and also Little Debbie's. She introduced me to the Little Debbie.
I love Little Debbie's.
I think that's you, Shelley, on the line. So hold on. We're speaking with our guests, Stephen and Jennifer Bishop. Stephen was diagnosed with 11 years ago with Lou Gehrig's disease in his mid-30s and told that, plan your affairs, get everything in order, and don't plan anything more than 3 months in advance. And here he is joining us. And I wanted to mention your son, Christopher, who's now a teenager, and he was a toddler when you were diagnosed. And it was your dream, I remember, to see him grow up. And he's just been amazing to me because many of your friends he has watched die. And he has known all along that, his whole life, basically, that you had a terminal disease. And he's such an amazing kid. Chris, he doesn't like Christopher anymore. I know that, yes. And I'll never forget when you and Christopher, Steve, wanted a dog, and you said to Jennifer right in front of me, you said at the dinner table, are you going to deny your only son and your dying husband a dog?
It worked, didn't it?
Yes, I know. It
now
worked.
we have two.
So tell me a little about Chris and and this whole situation.
Well, it started back. I mean, trying to have him in the first place taken 4.5 years. So he was always a really huge dream for us. So to have him here was just incredible. And after being diagnosed, as devastating as that was, another thing that brought us out of it, the fog of that was Chris, because the thing that crossed my mind was legacy, right? You contemplate your life and you think, what legacy am I going to leave behind? And I did not want to leave Chris with the legacy that his old man was this grumpy old sick person in bed, and that's the only memory he had of me. Okay, that would break my heart. Okay, I don't care when I passed away, but to have that would be devastating. So he brought us out of that, and we just decided that we were going to take whatever we could, try and be as positive as possible, and I really think that helped us along our way. That's where that started.
So you ended up with a slow progression of ALS, and so you didn't just live 3 months or a year or 2 years. You've lived over a decade, and to see you wouldn't even know that you were sick, that you actually, you were wearing some braces last time I saw you, and you're not wearing those anymore, like to walk.
No.
And it seems like you're almost doing better.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say that sometimes. I feel like my progression has plateaued, in all honesty, and I think it has a lot to do with the prayers that we've been exposed to.
All over the world.
Yeah, we were on the Jerry Lewis telethon, and I think we literally had phone calls from all over the place saying, "You are in our prayers," and it seems like anytime we speak with people, I've been praying for you.
I just got a Facebook post from somebody that knew us back then and said she's still praying for us every day.
It's incredible.
How does that make you feel?
Special.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
We all are.
That's why you're here, because you guys have been amazing friends to me, and I think you guys are very special, and you've been such an inspiration to my family, and I'm just so blessed to have you in my life that I thought people might want to hear your story. I mean, when you're diagnosed with, in your 30s, something
Absolutely.
that's going to kill you, the way that you guys have lived your life. I mean, it's just a miracle you're here. I'm thrilled.
Well, it got to a point. I'm going to share this about the doctors. I mean, it got to a point. You talked about the slow progression and how I've kind of plateaued. I go to a doctor every year, and this year was different. This year, 2 doctors, my main doctors, and they both told me, I don't see you progressing like you did in the past, and in fact, you may be getting stronger in some areas. And one doctor in particular said, I know your son is 13. And I think you might be around long enough to see him get married and have kids. And you mentioned it earlier. We didn't know what future we might have, but to see him have that possibility and have our future back after I've been diagnosed 4 times now, okay? So we feel like we're getting our life back a little bit, and miracles do happen. And I strongly believe that those prayers are truly helping us out, and it's helped us find things that are assisting me. And so, I mean, I am very blessed.
Were you excited about what the doctor had to say, too?
Oh, my God. We were all, and this is the doctor that's been there for the last almost 11 years.
That you'd be able to see him graduate and maybe even have kids?
Yeah, and he says, no, tell him don't wait till he's 40.
To have the kids. Okay.
He
You
went
can't wait too
the
long.
levity. You wanted to
if
lighten
you're
the
listening,
mood.
Chris, don't wait till you're 40 to have kids.
Yeah, but not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. So thank you both for coming in. We're going to take some calls now. And, if you want to call in, the number is 303-477-2473. And if you want to talk to Stephen and Jen, or if you want to ask me a question about, what I've been doing and why I'm doing this, and what am I doing, feel free. Bear, stay on the line. I want to, who do we have first? Let's go ahead and start with the lady. Who do we have here, Mr. Paul?
We have Shelly on the phone with us.
And Shelly's from Minnesota,
Yes.
I believe. Okay.
That's where I was born.
Is that? Oh, is this my Shelly from Minnesota?
It is, Angie. How are you?
Oh, my goodness. How long has it been?
Well, California, last time I seen you. I went out
Yes.
to visit you in California.
And that was the first time in your entire life you'd ever flown, wasn't it?
It was. First time I had been to California, like out of the Midwest even.
I remember your dad, Butchie, and how Butch would sneak us into the high school football games. I also remember your mom and how she'd feed us the potato chips and the onion dip and the Little Debbies. It was so
I know.
What a fun family you have.
Congratulations on the new job. I keep, I always, Facebook, I always watch, keep updated on your post and have been watching. And I was so excited to see your new job and knew that this is, through the radio station jobs and everything, knew that this is a good one for you. And I was really excited to see this one and definitely wanted to say congratulations. And, it's weird how you pop in at just the right time. So when I called and I hear this inspirational story of Stephen, and, you sit and you listen. And, of course, about 5 years ago, I'd been a nurse, and I had some problems. I was lifting a patient and lifted wrong and had a herniated disc, and ever since then have been living with, some nerve damage and had some fusions and stuff like that, and then was in a car accident, had back problems, and I live with pain and some depression and everything every day. And actually, I came back to Minnesota a year ago because I've been in Arizona for the last 5 years, and I was just having trouble out there alone with my pain, depression, really haven't been working as a nurse, with just all that pain. So I've been home, and, you go through that periods of, feeling sorry for yourself and what am I going to do if I can't nurse? That's all I've ever known.
Right.
Since I've been 20 years old, I've only nursed, really. And so I come on, and, I'm going back to actually Arizona in about 3 weeks for some lawsuits and stuff like that, and, just all stressed out over everything. And I come on, and first thing I hear is Stephen's story. And it just makes you think, wow, it just like puts things in a new perspective. And so, you come in and it's like, it always happens. It's like when you come in, it's like you come in at the right time. Like God knows when you need to come in and you need to hear a story.
Shelly, that makes me feel so good because that's exactly why I want to do the show. And, you probably didn't know when I was little, like how troubled my family life was, and the drinking and the abuse in the home towards my mother and my brothers using drugs, and it was just total turmoil.
Yeah.
And being at your house was such a always pleasant. Your parents were funny, and your dad was rough around the edges, butch, and it was always just such a great place for me to kind of have like kind of a like a retreat for me. And you probably didn't even know that, but I loved to spend time at your family's house because your parents were married and nobody drank too much, and Butch was sassy, but he was still. By the way, the last time I talked to your father, I called the house for you, and you were a grandmother, but I have little toddlers, so I said, "Oh, Butch, I just had my third child." He goes, "Oh, you're pretty long in the tooth to be having kids." He goes, "You're getting old, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, Butch, I am. Why, thank you."
He's going to be 70. He's, great grandpa. I know now. Actually, great grandpa. He's, just as active as he ever was. He works every day. You'd never know a difference from years ago. He's almost the same person. The day he doesn't work is the day, things would happen. He stays every day, 10 hours a day. You'd never know that. He's 70 years old almost.
Well, Shelley, I can't tell you how happy I am to hear from you. It's just such a blast from the past. It was so fun growing up with you, and the fact that we still know each other. And thank you for letting me come into your house when I was a kid so much, and having a safe environment. And I'll talk to you on Facebook later. And I love you, and thank you for calling.
Love you too. Congratulations.
Thanks, honey.
And it was nice to hear your story, Stephen. And good luck there.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Say hi to Butch. Give him a hug for me, that old bugger.
Bye-bye.
All right. Someone who I believe is one of my Facebook friends is on hold. And we've got Bear and we've got Dave from Longmont. So, Bear, you've been on hold for a while. Bear, you there? Oh, wait. You there? Bear, are you there? Bear? Bear is not there.
I don't think he's there anymore.
Paul, you're on probation now. Who else do we have?
Hello, I'm here.
Oh,
there he is.
Bear is there. Paul, you still have your
Sorry.
job. That's okay. Hi, Bear.
Hi, I'm sorry. I've been saying I'm here, so I unplugged my headphones, and now you can hear me.
Oh, so it wasn't Paul's fault this time.
Yes.
Not everything that goes wrong is my fault.
Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Bear. Hi. Are you my Bear from Facebook?
Hi, I am one of your faithful following friends on Facebook, 4F.
Oh, thanks for calling in.
Yes, and I have to say that I had never seen you on television in Denver. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were a quote-unquote personality. I just added you to my Facebook because I had seen some posts you had made a while back and thought, hey, this
I'm very witty, aren't I, Bear? You saw some witty posts and you thought, boy, I want to be friends with that witty lady.
This is how I live these days, is witty. I have probably always been this way, but anyway, I thank you for having me on here, and God bless you all. Stephen, I've been listening to your story, and it's remarkable that we have some similarities. My story is extremely detailed and quite involved, so I don't know how much you would want at this point to hear, but many people have told me, Barry, you need to write a book, and so I've begun one. But it goes back from childhood to Europe, to eventually living in Alaska, to escaping from the abuse and neglect of my childhood, and so much violence and so much death, and the loss of a child later, and hiding basically in Alaska, earning my master's degree in counseling psychology, and working with troubled youth for the 20 years after I got out of the military. I've jumped quite rapidly through 47 years or 48 years there of stuff. Then the depression had taken over when I was in Nome, Alaska, the end of 2010. Was asked by a former friend of mine, I guess a friend of mine that I worked with in a very small remote village called Tanana, Alaska, where I was his kid's school counselor. He said, hey, Bear, why don't you come and stay with us here in Flagler, Colorado, and you can try to regain everything and slow down from this extremely involved life. I have driven for a president. I've hitchhiked across this country to raise awareness for illnesses. I've done so much. And he said, God is telling you now that you've been working very hard and going very hard, so it's time for you to take a break. So I took him up on the offer, and I left Nome, came to Flagler, Colorado, October 2010. I had money, so I realized that his family was